I really appreciate as you all have started sharing your experiences. So, sharing your experiences that from mind has started from non thinking to a conscious thinking mode in the light of these principles. So, when we start consciously, we move to the right perception. And when we have a right perception, the delusion goes away. Who doesn't know the sun does not sun rises every day in the morning and I am lazy? Okay, for me, the morning takes place around noon. You have to find this delusion in everyday life. So another meaning of hammering the delusion is a right perception. So what is wrong perception? You have to pay extra attention. What is wrong perception and what is right perception? That is the difference between the delusion and dispassion in life, everyday life. My situation, my people, my relationship is affecting my life is delusion. I am independent, pure consciousness, nothing outside can affect me. It is just a point of awareness. But why it happens, that I always feel that I am dictated and influenced. So there comes not only the ego, delusion, blame, complaint. So where we started, I said hammering the delusion. I defined the delusion. And then I said, remember, recall, relive. Remember, recall, and relive into that awareness. Why to remember? I forget it. Why I forget it? I've been using the word honey. There is another word associated with the honey trap. You all know. So there is always a honey trap in our life. The day we wake up in the morning and we retire to the bed. I have to recognize there is always a honey trap, either by a situation, either by, oh, just now I received an email from this woman. She has been with me for a couple of years. And she said, I shut myself into the room because I have a lot of infection. So I responded immediately that do not shut your mind. It's okay. And she also responded back to me, I knew that that is what you are going to say. I said, if you knew it, the wisdom is being settled in your mind. You see, such a healthy conversation. Oh, wisdom is being settled in your mind. If you remember, you have to recall it. So endure your infection. Take care. That's all. It does not mean that outer situation in the body should affect me. That is the meaning of hammering the delusion. Remember, recall, relive at any point of time. So, what is the honey trap? I don't have money, sense of insecurity. I have lot of money, sense of insecurity. Maybe you keep $100,000 in a room, and I say, I want to see that room. No, no, that room is normal, you know. Don't go there. Come and sit with me. Honey trap. So honey trap by a situation, honey trap by a relations, honey trap by a person, they all causes the problem. And I have to remember, recall, and relive. That is one way to say it. The other way is to say is to live in right perception. Live in right perception. Or just remind yourself. Oh, what this beard guy told me, real self. I'm the real self of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. So that I don't fall into the honey trap. Oh, so I have to build my recognition in order to do that. I have to express myself in my thought, in my speech and action. So in my thought, speech, and action, that honey trap is always there. You all shared your experiences last time. So how long I have to continue? Don't you know that sun rises every day in the morning? I forget it. There is a sense of forgetfulness. It is always there. So that consciousness, pure consciousness is always there. When I remember, recall, it is always there. There is no ego. There is no delusion. There is no, my internal, that mental state or mind never ever feels that outer situation, people, condition can dictate me, can influence me, can honey trap me. It is already there. What is blocking the mind? What is blocking the mind? And that is why our master says consistent, regular study, contemplation, and reflection will reveal the knowledge taught by the master. And we have already done a lot of practices. We are undergoing those practices. Let us go a little deeper. My mind says it is very difficult to maintain the regular routine. Why? Honey trap. There is no other reason. I've already repeated many a times. People say I have an acute headache, that's why I've not been attending the session. Sam is doing something else instead of listening to me. That is honey trap. The problem is that I laugh at myself. That is why it says, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudhamate Samprapte Sannahite Kale Nahi Rakshati Dukrunna Karane. Bhaj Govindam. Normally we talk about, the literal meaning is worship Govinda, worship Govinda, worship Govinda. But the real meaning is that move into the right perception. Right perception is the prayer. And we put all the gods and goddesses also in our honey trap. And that is why we have lost interest in all the religions. It is because of the ignorance. It is because of the delusion. Oh mind, move to the right perception. Don't be foolish. How? By remember, recall, and relive. So this text reminds us we all are seekers now. It reminds us to move into the right perception. We have to shake up our head anytime. Anytime the mind is filled with the blame, complaint, duality, and a conflict. They are all the siblings of the delusion. All the siblings of the delusion. Oh, this weird guy was criticizing me, blaming me. One guy says, and the second guy says, no, no, he was appreciating you. You see how the mind changes instantly? So we have to hammer the delusion. So this hammer the delusion is a very soft approach. But instead the text is named as hammer the delusion, as if you have to do a very tough work. No, I have to become aware, recall and remember. What to recall and remember? That I am of the nature of real self. What we do, oh, I have been single for so many years and that's why I have a problem. I've been married for so many years, that is why I have a problem. I have been divorced for so many years, that is why I have a problem. I did not find what we say, the right soulmate, that is why I have a problem. So, can you point out the delusion here? My mind is caught up in very petty things. I make my life would be happy because of an outer situation, because of an outer condition. I will be respected. Nothing of that sort. We get caught up by the mind. The person outside is ready to say good morning, but my mind is full of delusion. So the master says death can come at any time. No amount of the wealth, no amount of my recognition or the social media followers can help. I have to live with myself. Remember, right? I have to live in right perception. So if I translate in a very simple way, the very beginning step that I have to move from the non-thinking from the thinking, conscious thinking. What is non-thinking? It comes habitually, instinctively, impulsively. No, I have to present before you the way, oh, so that you will continue to respect me. No, it doesn't happen that way. Live consciously, live with the right perception, so that your impulsive mind does not dictate over you. And if it dictates over you, you try to make an extra effort in your relationship, in a situation outside, and as you continue to make that extra effort, that is making you fully busy. Otherwise, where is the problem in life, especially with the human life? The mind becomes blind, and that blindness of the mind is what we say the deluded mind. You have a very big home and a small heart, and you have a small home and a big heart. So in delusion, the mind is squeezed. In right perception, the mind is expanded. So in the text, or there is another explanation, we say the cultivate devotion and the wisdom by listening and learning through the self-inquiry and even through the mantra. So whenever you find the time and you remember Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, let everyone be happy, so that the deluded thoughts do not take over you. You just remember. That very remembrance is connecting. That is another way to explain the first verse. Second verse says that the master, if I translate it, says, "O deluded mind." He is addressing in a poem, "O deluded mind, how many honey traps you have." What is that? How many cravings I have. Because of the craving, it builds a different identity, a different person in me. And that different person is struggling in insecurity, in dissatisfaction, and unhappiness. Can you find out situation contains unhappiness, dissatisfaction, or this I? That I reflects the situation at present, and that I says I'm unhappy. Situation never says I'm making you unhappy. No relation says that I'm making you dissatisfied. Are you getting it? That I in me is associated with it. So in the second verse, Master says, "Oh, deluded one. Oh, deluded one." What it says, "Oh, deluded one, may you become aware of the craving and the desire for happiness from the world." Then the Master says, "Oh, deluded mind, may you contemplate upon the real self and your nature." Third line, the Master is saying, "Oh, deluded mind, can you see the contentment is here and now?" Where the contentment is there. When that I, which is dissatisfied, that I, in relation to the world outside, it's a honey trap. Are you getting it? That's why I'm using the word honey trap. That I, false I. You drop the false I, the contentment is here and now. And that is why in the second verse, I use the word a support system. Child needs the support of a mother, students need the support of a teacher, patient needs the support of a doctor. We need, now see, I need a support of the wealth for my happiness, or for my pleasure, or for meeting my basic needs. I should have a right perception. It doesn't mean that I should not earn money. Are you getting it? So I need a support where a Caesar work, there the soul cannot work. So I have to discriminate. I have to find out where my mind is going. Money will give me prestige, recognition, reputation. Yeah, it's a short-lived. You have to continue to maintain. It will build up your delusion. Master is simply saying, from non-thinking, let me move to the thinking. Let me consciously think. So the master is saying that support means now I am ready to drop that delusion in the ego. I thought in the intellect who created a delusion. The I thought in the intellect, which is craving for and seeking. And what it is seeking, it is not there. And the moment the master says, as a seeker, you all are seekers. If you are a seeker and you are understanding, you consciously think, I'm addressing you all as a seeker. If you are not a seeker internally, my talk will not benefit you. I teach totally differently in a different session, depending on the group and the level. But as a seeker, if you are consciously thinking, you have done a lot of practices, what happens? What is the result? Result is the insecurity, dissatisfaction, and the very suffering drops. That is why this woman told me, she sent me instant answer, instantly. Oh, this is what, I know what you are going to say to me. So it means that wisdom was already in her head. And even though she expressed and she remembered, and I had an instant answer, yes, you're right. So wisdom is still lying in your head. You have to simply remember. What it means, you are living in the mindfulness, here and now. That is the meaning of living in mindfulness. Intellectually, we say, live in mindfulness. You are in stress, so let me live in stress. That will not work. Simply using intellectually. I'm not a seeker. I did not understand all these principles. It will not work. It has never worked. Tell me how many Americans every day say live mindfully. I was attending a police academy, some training, and they say, we guide everyone in our police force to live mindfully. So I said, is it working? No, it's not working. You know that, every cop wants to be tough. They don't want to be mindful. I didn't say anything, because they were giving a talk. The lieutenant was giving a talk, so I said, but does the being mindful and being tough oppose each other? In delusion, you become very weak. In being mindful, you are the toughest guy. Internally, you are the toughest guy. Your standpoint is always clear. You live into the right perception. You don't allow the mind to move into delusion at any point of time. You're very tough. But tough does not mean that you start abusing and fighting with others. Maybe with all your support, I'm going to give some training to them if they agree. So what happens? What is the result? The insecurity, the sense of insecurity drops, the dissatisfaction dissolves, that wanting more and never feeling complete also drops from your head. Why? Attachment and identification with the ego drops. The delusion drops. And we are happy. We are happy. The third verse is talk about the purely a honey trap. You see some car, this car is good. That much is okay. You appreciate all the features. That is also okay. I'm consciously thinking, if you have a good point, if you have a good attitude, I must appreciate. So there is a thin line between a craving and appreciation or liking. You like for the sake of liking, but you like for the sake of craving. Oh, Miss Universe is really beautiful. Or Mr. Universe, let us go in both the ways. That much is okay. I must appreciate. That is one way to contribute. We should contribute. No, I must appreciate you, but internally I feel jealousy. So you have already divided your mind. You see, that is a pointer of ego. No, anyhow, you speak very well. I cannot speak very well. That I keep in my mind, so that causes my craving. Now, to keep my mind in a right perception. So the third verse is talking about seductive attitude in anything. Do not fall prey to Frenzy's delusion. Any name in the form outside, any name in the form outside. I have to see, I have to perceive in a right way. If there is a right perception, I don't have any problem. But that right perception comes by consistent, regular practice. If you see, it will happen intellectually, no. I already told you before. Intellectual understanding, anyone can understand these principles easily. Average human being. So that is the vision. We set the vision of life in the intellect. And the way of life is carried out by the mind. So they must marry together. If the mind does not change its attitude and behavior by regular practice, your willpower will not work. Last point. How many times some of you told me, not only, a couple of me, I don't want to name. I promised myself that I will wake up 5 minutes before, every day, 5 minutes before the time. Are you making a joke to yourself? 5 minutes? And that 5 minutes will never come. That is your will. And the will is dictated by your impulsive nature, your behavior and attitude. If I don't change my behavior and attitude, nothing is going to happen. No mindfulness, no meditation will succeed. Are you getting it? Intellectual understanding is there. Where is the will? In the intellect. The intellect says, I will do this. But my mind, which has millions of impressions, which continues in a delusion, it will not work. So where is the solution? Gently push the mind, do the practice, consistent, regular practice will change the mind, will change the behavior and attitude, will not veil the willpower on the intellect, and then you have a clarity and the life changes. Am I right? Say yes. Why I'm right? Because I'm teaching from the master principles of the Eastern wisdom. There is nothing in me. So I have no delusion at all. I'm 100% clear. These principles have been continued for the last 10,000 years. Am I right? If you are listening, or definitely you will say right, but I'm not right. I'm just representing that wisdom. What happens when you, even by consciously thinking you repeat it, you keep your ego at a bay. That is another way to talk and communicate in our social life, in our personal life. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. Close your eyes, close your eyes. Eyes are closed and being comfortable and carefree. Being comfortable and carefree. Now you all are a seeker. I need not to explain in detail what it means by being comfortable. I have explained in many ways, at least 10 different ways. You remember any one. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness, standing across the road, watching the traffic, looking into the sky, the birds flying into the sky. Do you remember? So, what happens when you, even by remembering, I'm not saying that you need to believe me, you simply remember you move into the right perception. Your body now is comfortable. The body does not create a honey trap. You know what we discussed? That's what I help you now. So we have to be into the same state of awareness when we do what we do. When we do the mantra, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Now you know completely. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. What is very important? Chanting, recitation definitely is one factor. But what is more important is the knowledge. Thought is the product of knowledge. Right perception. Let everyone be happy. The message is clear. Now that guy is crazy, but let the crazy guy also be happy. So what happens? Your delusion of blaming someone dissolves. It is a very deeper meaning. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. I am not making you annoyed, angry, and agitated. I'm contributing to you. And I'm not affected by your blame and complaint. I'm still contributing. You understand? Leave aside the morality and ethical discipline. We have to be kind and etc. That doesn't work. We talk at the intellectual level, but it doesn't work. Do you see the secret of peace? May there be peace for all. And that is what you have been watching these and listening to these sessions. Why should I hurt you in any way? But if you are a seeker, I should be tough on you. Just see that right perception. Peace is already here. Sarvesham, Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all. What that means? A sense of incompleteness present in the I thought causes the insecurity, dissatisfaction, unhappiness in the present situation that is present in the I thought that is not present in a situation, a person, or a relationship. We are evolving our mind. So when your mind rises into a consciousness, higher consciousness, that is where comes the living from a moment to moment. You already know other meanings. We all are complete in ourselves. Sense of incompleteness brings the desire in the mind, and from the desire we have a craving, and from the craving plus the I thought causes the delusion, and from the delusion a list of problems takes over our life. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Your mind is extremely, extraordinary aware. In that awareness, we see you are also the son or the daughter of the existence. I am also the son and the daughter of the existence. I'm seeing the right perception. You have a right to exist. I have a right to exist. I'm contributing. I am a contributor. No, you have no right to exist except me. I have a right to exist in a particular way. Delusion. We will continue our breathing. I'm going to change these steps gradually. So you are looking deep inside the forehead and you are dropping gently Om Shanti and then start breathing quick and short, gentle breathing into the rib cage. Just let us resolve that. See how the willpower and the practice work together today. You keep on doing it, quick and short, gentle breath with Om Shanti continues. If the Om Shanti gently continues, you can do this breathing as long as you can. I have tried this. Sometimes I do it for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It is possible. Why we are doing it? We want to get rid of the deposits the mind has, which causes the honey trap. Just you are enjoying doing it. Body remains steady. Remember, you are comfortable, you are carefree, body doesn't move except the rib cage. You will also experience the sense changes in the sensation. What should I do? Recognize and accept the changes. Very important. And also recognize the resistance and endure it. When you are enduring the resistance, you are increasing your willpower. Just continue as if doing this kind of a breathing and dropping the Om Shanti is a play and a fun for you. Who recognizes it is a play and fun for you? The mind with the right perception. You're not moving your body at all. You're not running. You're not doing jogging. So the question of fatigue doesn't arise, but it is created by the mind. Om Shanti also continues. Just continue your mind. The moment I speak, your mind may be thinking when to stop. That is a resistance. Just continue doing it. No doubt you continue to experience the changes. I told you, accept and recognize the changes. The moment you recognize any resistance, you endure it. Enduring means what? You continue doing it. You simply remember, I have to continue. And you see that resistance dissolves. And stop this, recognize and accept the changes. Pay attention to the flow of the breath. You will definitely, you may see that flow of both the nostrils becomes equal. If it is not, pay attention to the flow of the breath which is lesser than the other. but you have a new level of awareness because you have new experiences. We have to continue doing it unless you share your experiences, which helps me to recognize that we can leave that step and introduce new one. Now, Om Shanti continues deep inside your forehead in the space and start with the second breathing, that is the belly breathing. It's a longer breath into the belly only. There will be a little movement into the rib cage. It's a conscious approach. You are asking the mind to become conscious at a very higher level of a seeker. But yes, at a lower level of a seeker, we can have hundreds of explanations of the breathing. It's a longer breath because the lower lobes of the lungs expands the belly out, squeezes the belly in when you exhale. So continue, my friend. Continue, my friends. Longer, deeper. Again, there is a big challenge to the mind. The mind says, I'm not going to change. That is why there is a resistance, even when the mind has already experienced a change. So, what we enduring it? Enduring removes the veil over the intellectual understanding, and then the intellect can work with the willpower. No doubt you will have a new experiences with a longer breath, new sensation. Who is afraid of the new sensation? The mind. Why? It wants to remain habitual. You are understanding and then doing it. Long and deep, just check your mind slows down your breathing. Do not slow down your breathing. Continue in the same manner. You have to endure it. You are picking up every move of your mind, and you do not stop. Understand, you have willpower is always present in every being. It is equal and the same. How much it is hidden by the mind, deluded mind, is the question. So we are using the breath to change that mindset. It's a longer breath. Your belly expands and squeezes. No movement in the body. I'm reminding you, the mind will play a different role. No movement at all. What it shows, you're transcending the body even in an active state, even when you are breathing, not in a meditative state. That goes a long way. And stop it. The first thing we pay attention to the breath. The moment I say stop, we allow the breath to be normal, but still we keep track of the flow of the breath. And if any flow is less, you pay attention there and continue to be aware of the flow of the breath. At the same time, you're experiencing the changes, the sensation, the vision, and the colors, and let them come and let them pass. So it is not as much the result of the breathing as much it is because you are able to maintain your awareness. You are able to separate that habitual impulsive mind because of the practice. That is the key. And looking deep inside the heart, in the cave of the heart triangle, moving the mind on a triangle, dropping the Om Shanti. And if you find a sync with the clockwise and anti-clockwise movement, so you are now you see you have a total responsibility. It's a conscious journey. If any meditation is not a conscious journey, you will definitely be deluded, will fall into hallucination sooner or later. So once you find this thing, singing Om, consciously moving the mind deep inside the cave of your heart, Shanti, and then it's a conscious self-absorption. What it means? You're away from the world outside. A moment of the state of dispassion, not delusion. And again, the thought disturbs, dictates you, go back to the triangle, moving the mind, and now Om Shanti on the 16 segments of a fingers, four fingers. Just be aware that it's the mind's eye, ear, tongue, and the touch are working. And that results into another level of a conscious self-absorption. How come? The object outside merges into the senses are merging into the mind. In this step, and do nothing, remain as you are. Anytime you see the mind goes anywhere and there is a sense of forgetfulness, you have to simply remember I am real self or Bhaja Govinda. It is not that the thoughts are coming and going. In the presence of the thought, you still remember, no issue. But when the forgetfulness comes, it comes due to a very subtler level of the delusion. And that is the way. That is the way we live in mindfulness all the time. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Even when I am reciting this Shanti, 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 that is hitting your mind. Oh, this is what the mindfulness is. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand your mind on the left hand. Lift your both your palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences, bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences, and if you have any question, you're most welcome. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good, thank you. Working every day, living wisely. As far as this meditation goes, as soon as we started the chest breathing, I was aware of an entire temperature change in my body that basically from shoulders down, I was ice cold, and with the concentration of the Om Shanti in the forehead, there was this intense heat, almost like I was sitting under a heat lamp that was taking place. And I found it to be interesting, but was so focused on the breathing that I wasn't paying attention to that whole piece. When the fast breathing ended, it was as if my heart center just opened up and I was absorbed into the heart center. And that was it. That's all I remembered until I heard you start saying Om Shanti.
Beautiful. We have done the first breathing almost 7.5 minutes. The second breathing, we did it for almost 5.5 minutes. So, and still the changes come. It does not mean a particular breathing brings the changes. Even simple change of the breathing changes our mindset. So it is, in fact, change of the mind, and a mental awareness is required. And we will discuss about that. Continue to experience. We feel the coolness in the entire body, sometimes heat. We have a lot of those experiences are going to come. That's a beautiful, your experiences. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. Yeah, fabulous overall meditation. The lecture was extremely good. The realization I had is that, you know, if you're a seeker, you know, you're going to be vigilant with us. And I think that in our life, we look at people that are vigilant with us. We need to reframe how we receive that and receive it with love and receive it with this journey we're on, and not defend ourselves. So that was a great realization for me during the lecture. The meditation was very, very good. I had moments of, you know, jumping onto thoughts that came in, but was able to get back to the center. Similar to Stephen, I had this chill occur, not with the breathing, but as soon as we went into the heart, my body just went into a chill. And, you know, the rest of the meditation was just blissful. So thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful sharing. I will talk about it. The entire life is receiving and giving. That is what the life is. I give something. I give stress to you. I give anxiety to you, and I receive the same anxiety, or I receive the pleasure from you. Receiving and giving is what the life is. At every moment in life, you are sitting alone. You are receiving the breath. You're receiving that space. That expands the area of greater expansion of the consciousness, which you talked in a different way. And secondly, the changes in these. So, the second thing, very important, that I need not to defend. When I defend, only because of the delusion. When there is a delusion, I defend. I need not to defend anything. Beautiful. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. It was calm, peaceful, Today I started the breathing, and then the mind didn't. I didn't feel that I was resistant, but the mind just stopped breathing. So I don't know that I even thought about it, but I wasn't, and obviously I was breathing, but I wasn't doing the breathing exercises. And from that point on, I just felt very absorbed. So calm, peaceful, absorbed.
Beautiful. Yes, what will happen sometime the breathing stops. Now, what we are doing by the breathing, we want to achieve a particular state of awareness in the mind. So even after leaving the breathing, can we switch on to that state of awareness? That is where we are heading to. And once we achieve that, we will drop this breathing. So very systematic, wonderful, and beautiful. How are you, Samir? Samir is gone. Samir is gone. How are you, Dennis?
I'm good, thank you. The breathing was seamless. I didn't notice any resistance. The mind was surprised. There was no third type of breathing. And at the last step, when we were doing nothing, I was just observing the space. I was almost detached from the body so much that I had to make an effort to return, to raise my hands, to return into the body, I believe, the meditation.
Beautiful. Beautiful experience. One point that you said in my mind prompted me to say something. You see that, understand that why we are doing this breathing. Breathing means it is the change of the rate and the rhythm of the breath. That is what the breathing is. Change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. The mind is so much deluded that in the normal breathing pattern, it cannot recognize the delusion. So we are changing it so that I raise my level of awareness and attention and I enter into that state of calmness and peace. Let the time come when, in the same, just in a normal breathing pattern, I live into that awareness. I will drop that breath. So don't think in the way which is very popular in our breathing practices, breathing exercises. No, no, no. We are not doing like that. We are using totally in a different way. Beautiful. How are you, Brandy?
I'm good, thank you. I'm glad I got to join the session today. I didn't think I was going to because I had a power outage in the middle of the night, and the workers have been out here working even all the way through the meditation. So with that, I like, made up my mind not to take it for granted. I was like, I didn't think I was going to get to come, and I got to come. And so for the whole process, the breathing, I'm like, so what if I don't want to be breathing? I get to be here and be breathing, right? And it would kind of change my perspective, which was helpful.
Yes, I have to do it. That is the willpower. And sometimes the willpower succeeds. And the willpower also depends on the outer situation, but mostly it depends whether the mind is dictating me or not. Let me wake up. No, it's only 6. So let me lie down, keep lying down for another 2 hours. It is the mind. The intellect says wake up, mind says no. So why I said so? So whenever there is a power outrage in the future, at least you can run the previous session and you can do it. Beautiful. That's the right approach. How are you, Barbara? We don't hear you. You are muted. Even you are not listening, you are muted. That's quite interesting. Anyhow,
She's not,
Barbara is
she's not visible.
Anyhow, we have to pick her lips. We didn't hear you. Oh, at last you heard us. No, we are not hearing you. It's okay. We have seen your movement of the lips, and you have undergone a deeper experience. No issue. How are you, Christina?
Thank you. Like Stephen and David, I immediately, when we started, felt freezing cold and had many chills. And I had this aha moment of the consistent, regular practice is like the water we drink or the food we eat to maintain our body. And so this is to maintain the mind. And so that was a noticing. Yeah.
That is how the consistent practice is to be done, to awaken to that higher consciousness. And once awakening takes place, we are done. But at the same time, it happens, one more aspect is, today I woke up around almost 3:30, and then it took me almost, I had to do 15 minutes of the breathing, or maybe I would say 15 or 20 minutes. The body constantly undergoes a change. Body lives in a dynamic state of health and sickness. So in order to not to allow the body to take over the mind, we need to continue some practices. Otherwise, it does not mean that you cannot live into that state of awareness all the time. It is possible. If it makes a sense, it's okay. If it doesn't make a sense, that too is okay. How are you, Terry?
I'm good. I was calm.
Yes.
But I was so calm that I might have fallen asleep for part of it. But
Okay.
I didn't sleep for 2 nights.
Okay.
I think that's so. I
Yeah,
couldn't help.
you didn't sleep for 2 nights, and after the practice, you are calm. You didn't fall into sleep.
Yes, and during the night when I was having the problem, I didn't. I was also calm, but I was awake, unfortunately.
That's very good. And you start doing the practice. You
Well,
don't.
I did try the breathing
No,
to.
do the entire practice.
Oh,
You listen to it, so your mind will be engaged in the listening, and then you are doing the breathing, you enter into it. So if you don't fall into sleep, repeat the practice.
okay. Try that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Very good. Very good. That's really. Yeah, go ahead.
Does the fast breathing and create a state, energized, wakeful state, though?
Entire practice, all the steps together,
Uh-huh.
not only the breathing.
Okay.
We have a wrong notion that the breathing energizes the brain.
Oh.
If the tiger chases you, will you start breathing to energize yourself before you start running? So, what you're talking about it. See the real life experiences.
Yeah.
You want to be angry over someone? Oh, wait for 2 minutes. Let me breathe, and then I will become angry over you.
Oh.
Do you
No,
say that?
it's just happening.
Yes, it is. Mind is more powerful than the breathing. We will understand. We are going deeper into it. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. So mine was calm. In practice, I was absorbed. The state was almost peaceful. Was calm.
Almost peaceful. Very good. Good experience. How are you, Ashok? Where is Ashok?
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, sir.
Sir, I am good and peace and calm. And sir, इसमें जैसे mind, we should remember the real self, or we should think like that ki real self emerging into the super consciousness.
You are an Indian guy, so you know Bhaj Govinda.
Ji.
So there is a sense of dedication. Simply remember Bhaj Govinda. I offer myself to Govinda. Where are you, Govinda? Govinda is in my heart.
Mhm.
So let's have an emotional approach.
ठीक है.
I'm translating that into an American way. So both are good.
Thank you.
Anything, I need a support system to get rid of that forgetfulness.
Yes.
I am real self, that is also okay. I am aware, that is also okay. Very good. So we have our master Sam. Yes, Sam, how are you?
Hardly. No, I mean, I appreciate, everybody and the lessons. I learn a lot from all of you, especially as a 30-year-old. And the times I take time off, I'm either sad or having health issues, and sometimes I run away from the practice because sometimes I take things too literally. But now I realize that everything you're teaching me is everything I've learned over the course of my life, just at a different angle. And sometimes it's hard for me to understand the principles, but all of you and the way you share your experiences really helps me. And today, I feel there was no effort of anything. I felt good. The results are showing. I just took a blood test and everything is like low blood pressure again, low everything. So I owe it all to you guys because sometimes it's hard for me, and I appreciate all
Yes.
of you.
Sometimes it is hard for you. That is why you take time off. So whenever you are tired, take time off your breathing also. Take time off your eating also. Take time off your thinking also. And that will keep you regular all the time in the practice. So we have to think in a different way. How are you, Sangeeta?
सर बहुत अच्छा था, एकदम एब्जॉर्ब था सर। कई बार मन हावी हो जाता है तो उसी टाइम पता भी चल जाता है कि विचार आ रहे हैं, तो कंट्रोल हो जाता है।
Yeah, what she is saying that sometimes the mind starts dictating over me and I become aware. That is what the point I have been saying it. You see that the moment my mind starts dictating me, that is what the Sam is saying, that I take the things literally. Mind is dictating. The delusion has taken over. I take time off. Mind is dictating me. So, but is it possible that I can become aware when the mind is dictating me? Intellectually, answer is no. What is the solution? Consistent, regular practice. Bit by bit, you raise your level of awareness so that you start living into that state will help. So taking time off will not help. Taking the things literally will not help. I'm sorry, sometimes I show the toughness, but that is the way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Namaste, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.